Salaki, can y'all hear me now? So just let me know if you can hear me. I'll start over. Khan. Hey, man. All right, so let me just start over. All right, once again, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect, the men, women, and children that are predestined to receive salvation and to be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of Israel. So Salakia, man, it's actually interesting because when I tried to do this, video about like 10 minutes ago, and it was on unlisted, and now it's there wasn't no sound, but Satan trying to hinder, but we just want to continue on with it. Hit the water, for letting me know, and also the water for the sister that actually sent me this video. Okay, she knows who she is. It's a very interesting video when you go into what he's talking about, and actually what it means concerning prophecy. Okay, because these devils, they don't do things just to do it. All right, everything that is moving toward their their ultimate new world order plan. Okay, and it's because this devil knows he has but a short time. He has to do these things quickly. So I'm gonna play this from the top again, and then like I said, I'm gonna jump to another point where he speaks about actually how these chips are necessary in order for the kingdom not to be quote unquote lost. So let's play this from the top.
Recently, we've seen how a shortage of computer chips, like the one I have here, you can hardly see it, I imagine. It's called a semiconductor. It's caused delays in production of automobiles that has resulted in reduced hours for American workers. A 21st century horseshoe nail. This semiconductor is smaller than a postage stamp, but it has more than 8 billion transistors. 8 billion transistors, 10,000 times thinner than a single human hair in this one chip. These chips are a wonder of innovation and design that power so much of our country, enables so much of our modern lives to go on.
So once again, I mentioned it before, but it was no sound. Pay attention to the wordage that he is using. Okay, he specifically says that there's about 8 billion transistors in that chip, right? And we know that they say that there's about 8 billion people on the earth. So Esau likes to use numerology. All right, he likes to use different ways to code speech, so to speak. And these chips, ultimately, as the scripture says, he wants to cause all, both small and great. So he wants to basically get 8 billion people chipped, right? And he said what that is a wonder of a design. And the scripture talks about how through his technology, aka his miracles, he was going to deceive many. All right, and the whole world was going to wonder after the beast, because of what it can, or what it perceives that it can be, it can offer, So pay attention once again to how he is speaking, man, because it is Esau uses words very deceptively. Okay.
Not just our cars, but our smartphones, televisions, radios, medical diagnostic equipment, and so much more. We need to make sure these supply chains are secure and reliable. I'm directing senior officials in my administration to work with industrial leaders to identify solutions to this semiconductor shortfall and work very hard with the House and Senate. They've authorized the bill, but they need roughly $37 billion short term to make sure our constitutional journey did not.
So he's basically saying that he had to sign an executive order because there's a quote unquote conductor shortfall or shortage, which really the whole thing, all right, the whole device is on a semiconductor, but the brains of the device is actually called the integrated circuit. All right, that's the actual piece or the microchip that is able to be used, able to make the device that it's in actually work. And that same device, that same integrated circuit that is in computers or in TVs, phones, cars. It's the same device that they put in the into the RFID, implantable RFID microchip. Okay, so him in essence saying that they need to create more microchips, and he's trying to say he needs it for electronics and things of that nature. But in all actuality, all right, just like how you said about the 8 billion transistors, in all actuality, it's because they need it so that they can have enough to microchip, the whole world. All right. So, and this is him. It's the same guy, this is a very popular video that came out, decades ago, or maybe a little bit over a decade ago. Actually, probably more than a decade ago, because he looks way younger here. But he says this. Let's play this right here.
Not stop then, and it must not stop now, Judge. And we'll be faced with equally consequential decisions in the 21st century. Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that. Mark my words before your tenure is over. Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior? You will rule on that.
This is an Omega Washman Media Group production.
Due to the mature nature of this content, language, and death, viewer discretion is advised.
But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
This is that little device. It does, that thing at the bottom is just to hold the threads in place, because they're just like little fine wires. Frankly, to sort of simplify this, what we're, it's more complicated than this, but it's in a lot of ways it's kind of like a Fitbit in your skull with tiny wires. No wires. In terms of getting a link, so that you need to have the device, a great device, and you also need to have a great robot that puts in the electrodes and does the surgery. So you want the surgery to be as automated and as possible, and the only way you can achieve the level of precision that's needed is with an advanced robot. The link procedure, the installation of a link, done in under an hour. So you can basically go in the morning and leave the hospital in the afternoon, and it can be done without general anesthesia. And we actually ultimately want this robot to do essentially the entire surgery. So in everything from incision, removing the skull, inserting the electrodes, placing the device, and then closing things up and having you ready to leave. So we want to have a fully automated system. So this shows you a sort of close-up view, which I think is actually not too gruesome, of the electrodes being inserted in the brain.
It did not stop then, and it must not stop now, Judge. And we'll be faced with equally consequential decisions in the 21st century. Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that. Mark my words before your tenure is over. Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior? You will rule on that. And Judge, I need to know whether you will be a justice who believes that the constitutional journey must continue to speak to these consequential decisions, or that we've gone far enough in protecting against government intrusion into our autonomy, into the most personal decisions we make. Judge, that's why this is a critical moment. There are elected officials in this government, such as Mr. DeLay, a fine, honorable, patriotic man, and others, who have been unsuccessful of implementing their agenda in the elected branches. So they've now poured their energies, as the left would if it were different. They've now poured their energies and resources into trying to change the court's view of the Constitution. And now they have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity
to address the global semiconductor shortage. President Joe Biden expected to sign an executive order in the next few weeks that would call for a comprehensive review of supply chains. The White House also expected to consider incentives to bring manufacturing of these chips back to the U.S.
Meeting, the bipartisan group of senators.
So, that was said right there. And I'm going to jump to where he actually says about how the chip is necessary in order for the kingdom not to be lost. Let's listen to him saying this.
Or workarounds in place. Remember that old proverb, for want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. And it goes on until the kingdom was lost. All for the want of a horseshoe nail. Even small failures at one point in the supply chain can cause outside impacts further up the chain. Recently, we've seen how a shortage of computer chips, like the one I have here, you can hardly see it, I imagine. It's called a semiconductor. It's caused delays in production of automobiles that has resulted in reduced hours for American workers. A 21st century horseshoe nail.
There you go. You hear that? He called the semiconductor, which AKA is a microchip, he called that a 21st century horseshoe nail. Now, in the proverb that he used, all right, I'm gonna play it back again just in case you missed it. He said that the horseshoe nail caused the kingdom to be lost.
It's in place. Remember that old proverb, for want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. And it goes on until the kingdom was lost.
So it goes on and on till the kingdom is lost. So if you don't have that horseshoe nail, which he called the semiconductor, aka the microchip, the horseshoe nail, it can potentially have the kingdom. The kingdom can be lost if you do not have this this microchip, implemented. All right. So that right there is a telling sign of these elites plan. All right, they plan to have this microchip, integrated heavily into society, not only through the electronics, but also through the people. Okay, so now let's get some definitions of what we're talking about. So you go to the first one I'm gonna go to is this right here, which is called the integrated circuit, right? Actually, I'm gonna do this because he says semiconductor. All right, that's what he was calling the quote unquote computer chip. So now he says a semiconductor material has electrical conductivity value falling between that of a conductor, such as a metallic, copper, and an insulator, such as glass. All right, so that's just the basis of what a semiconductor is. Now, we're going to go to what is the most proponent part of the semiconductor. So it says almost all of today's electronic technology involves the use of semiconductors, which is what Biden is passing this executive order, trying to secure millions more of these quote unquote semiconductors. It says with the most important aspect being the integrated circuit. Okay, so that is the most important part of that semiconductor piece that he was holding up. So now that we know that's the most important piece, let's go to see what integrated circuit is. It says an integrated circuit, or a monolithic integrated circuit, also referred to as an IC, a chip, or a microchip, is a set of electronic circuits on a small flat piece or a chip of a semiconductor material that is normally silicon. All right, so the base, so to speak, of the whole device is the silicon, but what you put on top of that base is this integrated circuit. Okay, or it's called a monolithic integrated circuit. Integrated circuit. Now, you remember, if you remember, you had all those monoliths that were popping up, last year. Okay, I believe they popped up in Utah. All right, they popped up in I want to say California. All right, they even popped up in Europe. I forgot exactly which country in Europe that they popped up, but it popped up in Europe as well. All right, so we get the etymology of a monolith. Okay, because that's when you type in monolithic, the root word is a monolith, right? So a monolithic, it says formed of a single block or stone, or of pertaining to a monolith. So you go to the word monolith, it says a monument consisting of a single large block of stone, all right, made of stone, from monos meaning single or alone, and lithos meaning stone, right? It says transferred and figuratively used in reference to a thing or a person, noted for indivisible unity, is from 1934. Okay, indivisible unity, meaning what? That all persons, okay, are one. All right, indivisible. You can't separate it. All right, so that's the first part of the word, okay, of that very important piece of the microchip. The second part is integrated, which is combined into a whole. Past particle, sense of dissegregated, not or no longer divided by race. Okay, so it's the opposite of being desegregated. It's integrated, so not being divided by race. Okay, so you got monolithic, which is indivisible unity. Okay, not being divided by race, and then you get the whole circuit, and then you get the word circuit, which is circumference or a periphery. It's like, if I pronounce that wrong, a line going around, whether circular or not. So same where you get the word, circumference. Okay. The word globe goes back into the word circuit. So it says a going around. So the unity of people that are integrated into one, going around the circus or going around the globe, meaning what? Going to everybody all together as one. That's what this chip is the mindset that ESO wants to use this chip for. All right, monolithic integrated circuit. Okay, all indivisible unity, indivisible unity. All together, regardless of your race, whatever, all around the world, all around the circuit, all around the globe. And that's why he wants to get the whole world chip, man. So this right here proves to you that the chip is the MOB is the chip. Okay. So now when you see what this is, like I said before, this integrated circuit, which is the main, or you can call like the brain of the whole, semiconductor, right? That same piece is not only in cars and electronics like he's trying to make it, but right here it says a human implant, microchip implant. Says a human microchip is typically an identifying integrated circuit device. You see, so it's the same thing. All right, that piece right there is the same thing that they put in microchips, which he just ordered. Executive order having millions to be mass produced. It says or device RFID transponder encased in a silicate glass and implanted in the body of a human being. This subdermal implant usually contains a unique ID number that can be linked to information contained in an external database, such as personal identification, law enforcement, medical history, medications, allergies, and contact information. All right, so that right there shows you, and I'm gonna get this too, because this is radio frequency identification of it, and then that's the RFID. Okay, and then you got the microchip. So those two things combined, right? And you go to what the components of the RFID tags is. It says right here, RFID tags are made out of three pieces: a microchip, which is an integrated circuit, okay, which goes back to what you just read, the monolithic integrated circuit, right? That's one component of it, which stores and processes information and modulates and demodulates radio frequency signals. An antenna for receiving and transmitting the signal, and a substrate, which when you go into the substrate is the actual the black piece that you see on the microchips. Let me see if I could find a picture of it, because when he's saying semiconductor, when he's saying that he ordered a semiconductor, he's He's talking about the actual whole piece, because there's no point of having a semiconductor without the there you go. See right here. There's no point of having a semiconductor without the integrated circuit. Okay, so this black piece that you see right here, that is the substrate, or the actual semiconductor. They call the whole thing a semiconductor, but the actual brains of it is the integrated circuit, or the monolithic integrated circuit. Okay, which goes into, all being, one around the world through the chip. Okay, so let's get, there was a little bit more. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so it just basically goes into, what the use is for. It says an RFID tag can be affixed to an object and used to track and manage inventory, assets, people, etc. For example, they can be affixed to cars, computer equipment, books, mobile phones, etc. You see? So he's coming out and saying, oh, we need these for cars and computers. But in reality, because you got to go back to the actual definition of the word, okay? The actual definition of the word is to do what? Is to have all integrated, through, in all, integrated and in a unity, okay, all around the world, all around the circuit. So that's why these chips are very important to their kingdom, because they want to be like the Most High, which the scriptures, talks about. Now, you got here in the book of First Maccabees 1, verse 41, it says, moreover, the king Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. All right. So this is a mindset that Esau has been had, man. I mean, even going back, and that's why the Lord called this place in the scriptures, Babylon the Great, because even going back to the book of Genesis, all right, Genesis 11, what were they trying to do? It says, and the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. This is before the Lord confused, the languages and made multiple different languages. It says, and it came to pass that they sojourned from the east, and they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said to one, and I believe this was under Nimrod's kingdom, okay, which you just had, which I know brothers and sisters already should know, but you just had Amazon said that they wanted to build a what? Tower of Babel headquarters, man. Okay. I'm just going to pull up the imagery. So this is what Amazon said that they wanted to, their headquarters that they wanted to build. They basically wanted to build a Tower of Babel headquarters. All right. So going back to Genesis, it says, and they said one to another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone and slime they had for mortar. Now, the funny thing is that the main component of bricks is the same thing that is the main component of making a semiconductor. Let me see if I can find it. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, yeah, so it says some. Actually, no, it's right here. So I'm gonna read this real quick. Which you see right here is a semiconductor. All right, this is a semiconductor. The computer circuit chip is made of silicon, an efficient semiconductor. Now, when you go into what silicon is made out of, it says it may come as a surprise, but silicon and silicone are two very different things. In short, silicon is a naturally occurring chemical element, whereas silicone is a synthetic substance. All right, let me jump to right here. It says silicon has many industrial uses. As silicon is a key ingredient in bricks. All right, so silicon is a key ingredient in bricks. Now, what did they use in order to make the Tower of Babel? They used what? Let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, all right, the monolithic or monolith, all right, the stone, and slime they have for mortar. It says, and they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. So let's go back here. It says, silicon is a key ingredient in bricks, concrete, and glass. In its silicate form, the element is used to make enamels, pottery, and ceramic. Elemental silicon is a major player in the modern electronics because it is an ideal semiconductor of electricity. When heated into molten state, go back here, what do they do with the brick? And they burn them thoroughly. All right. That's how under the ancient Babel, all right, ancient Babylon under Nimrod, in order to make this tower, they had to take the brick, which brick is made up out of silicon, right? And they burned it thoroughly. So that's how they basically made brick. They had to burn silicon together. And when you get silicon from, the main place you can get silicon from is in sand. All right. Sand is the main component of silicon. All right. Or you can say silicon is the main component that is in sand. So it says when heated into a molten state, silicon can be formed into a semiconductive wafers to serve as a base for integrated circuits, microchips. All right. So it says, in fact, Silicon Valley, the southern region of the San Francisco Bay Area, earned its name due to the high concentration of computer and electronic companies in the area producing silicon-based semiconductors and chips. So you have silicon, which I don't know if it actually says it here, but when you go into where you can find silicon the most, or in abundance, it's actually in beach sand. You can get it from sand. So the same, like I said, the same thing that they used during ancient Babylon, all right, during the time of Nimrod, all right, was silicon to make brick is the same thing they're using to make these chips. So let's get to something else right here. Where are we at? Oh, Salakia. So right here, because in the scriptures in Genesis, they did what? They wanted to build this tower. I keep saying tower. They want to build this tower so that they what? So that whose top may reach unto heaven, right? So when you go to Isaiah the 14th chapter, it says, Isaiah 14 verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. All right. And how are they ultimately trying to be like the Most High? It's always, once again, they always had the same mindset, man, to have the whole nation, whole kingdom should be one people. And they're trying to achieve that by having all people receive this chip, which the main ingredient or the main component of the chip is the monolithic integrated circuit. Okay, that right there is the main ingredient. All right, which we just read right here. A semiconductor material is normally silicon, and this is what silicon is. And like I said, if you actually go Google, I thought I had it up, but I don't. But if you actually go Google where silicon can be found, it's in sand. All right, it's in mainly it can be found easily, the easiest in sand. So even when you go into the whole process of do I have it up? The whole process of what these chips can do, it's all digital. Okay, it's all about digital data. Damn, where did it go? Damn, I thought I had it, but I don't have that one. So let me see. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. It says integrated circuits can be classified into analog, digital, and mixed signal consisting of analog and digital signaling on the same IC. Digital integrated circuits can contain billions of logic gates, flip-flops, multiplexers, and other circuits in a few square millimeters. All right. Yeah, so mainly the main thing now that these digital ICs can do, okay, the main, I should say, the main use now for these integrated circuits is digital electronics or digital data. Now you just had the Fed come out, I believe that was yesterday or 2 days ago, and they said that digital dollar is a high priority. Okay, digital dollar is a high priority. Biden just came out and said that he wants to create, millions of more microchips. Okay, integrated circuits, which the main component is digital. So it's all going towards what they're trying to accomplish in this in their new world order. All right. But the scripture says this, Job chapter 5, verse 12, it says he disappointed the devices of the crafty. So it's actually the word device means a plan, but it's actually, he has a plan to use his device, all right, to use this device to implement his new world order. So that's why this chip, all right, that's why the mark of the beast is an actual physical mark, man. It's an actual physical device that he plans to implement so that he can basically have control over the whole world, all right, the whole and everybody in it, 8 billion people, because with that chip, he will be able to, its abilities. You can turn it on and off. You can be integrated into society, or you can be excommunicated to society. And it's not Biden, all right. It's not him who is the one that's doing it. He's a puppet, but ultimately it's the ones who control the whole world right now, the elitists, all right, the rulers of the darkness of this world. Their plan is to use their devices, all right, to use their technology so that they can have complete dominance over the whole world. So let's go back. It says he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So yeah, when they, as it also says, when they are about to fill their belly, where is that? I believe that's Job 18. Might be Job 20. Mixed up. Job, the 20th chapter. Job 20, verse 22, it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, all right, and we're seeing this devil move towards trying to fill his belly, okay? That's why they're pushing towards the digital dollar, digital wallets, okay? Also, I forgot to mention, last year, they said that there was a coin shortage, right? They're trying to get everybody, to basically hand back, give back their coins. And when you go into how to produce, or how to what is needed in order to make these conductors, some of the components is I'm not gonna try to look for it, but some of the components is copper. All right, a main component in making these conductors is copper. All right, mainly for the antennas that is in that is in the in the microchips, basically. So they was them saying that, on top of trying to take away actual physical currency, they use the coins for the copper, and then at the same time they can use that to move away of a physical currency into a cashless society, which the microchips often says right here. RFID can be used in a variety of applications, such as access management, tracking of goods, trackings of persons and animals, toll collections, and contact payments. Okay, that's why you have a lot of tolls now. You can't even use money in a lot of these tolls. All right, you got to have, it got to be contactless. So as we're seeing this devil, man, he's moving towards quickly. It's not even, as the scripture says, he knows he has but a short time. So he's doing all these things ultimately because the end of his age is coming. All right. And he's trying to get to that point of being like the Most High, trying to build up that tower, you know, have everybody under one, you know, authority, under one, you know, rulership, as Antiochus was trying to do. All right. In verse 42, it says, and everyone shall leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. And who is the king? All right. Who is the ruler of this world right now is Esau Edom. You see? And he's going to imprint his rulership by way of having all take this chip. So let's go back to here. Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, so that mark, which is the RFID chip, which we can clearly see in the RFID chip itself, you know, and I keep going back to this because it's very important, you know, at least, you know, I believe through the Spirit, the name of the most important part of the chip itself, it tells you what it's all about, man. All right, monolithic integrated circuit. All right, having all, you know, all become one around the world, man. All right, all unified around the world. So that's what that chip is in essence trying to do, and that's why he's going to cause everybody to take this. He's going to construct and form a society where it is going to be needed, but for everybody, all around 8 billion people all around the world, to have this mark in order to, you know, be able to maintain a livelihood in this new society, man. So I believe I hit everything. I get this. 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11 says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So once again, his devices, his plans, the actual devices that he has, which is that chip, all right, is, as he just said, it's needful for the kingdom not to be lost. I'm gonna play that again and we'll close it out.
Alternatives or workarounds in place. Remember that old proverb, for want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. And it goes on and on until the kingdom was lost. All for the want of a horseshoe nail. Even small failures at one point in the supply chain can cause outside impacts further up the chain. Recently, we've seen how a shortage of computer chips, like the one I have here, you can hardly see it, I imagine. It's called a semiconductor. It's caused delays in production of automobiles that has resulted in reduced hours for American workers. A 21st century horseshoe nail. This semiconductor is smaller than the postage stamp, but it has more than 8 billion transistors. 8 billion transistors, 10,000 times thinner than a single human hair in this one chip. These chips are a wonder of innovation and design.
A wonder.
Power so much of our country, enable so much of our modern lives to go on.
And wonder of innovation and design that powers so much of our modern country, and not just the country, the world. You know, so in the up and coming months, you know, as everything becomes more digitalized, as everything becomes more, you know, technology based, Esau ultimately is doing this so that in order for you to survive, well, you got to be integrated with technology. All right, transhumanism. Okay, things are so now you can scan your eyes and open your phone. You know, you can pay with with your finger. Okay, you got Amazon Go with the swipe of a hand. You can pay for things. All right, you can get your passport when you in the or you can get your boarding pass by having your biometric scanned. So everything is moving towards technology and humans, and AI, I should say, AI and humans, coming together as one. integrating under this a monolithic society. All right. And that's why he's saying that these things, this chip is the horseshoe nail. And if this chip isn't implemented and isn't, mass produced and everybody's not with it, it can cause the kingdom to be lost, because Esau sees the heightened of his kingdom is in his mind is having everybody chipped. So he's going to do everything, he's going to move towards having that mindset in order for his kingdom to last, to stand. Because in his mind, if you get chipped, then he will be the most high. All right. And the elect, and that's why the scripture says, let me get that because of the elect, all right, because of the elect, Esau's kingdom will not stand, because the elect is not going to take the chip no matter what. All right. Revelation 20, verse 4, it says, and I saw the thrones and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahawashi and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast. Yeah, because once again, worshiping the beast is adhering to this new society, to this great reset. All right, to this transhumanism lifestyle. Okay, which Esau is putting out as if it's some type of innovating design. It's a wonder. It's good for people who are paralyzed, people who have dementia. It can give you back the usage of your limbs. I believe there was also another part where it says that it can basically help with biometrics. Damn, where is it at? Let me see. Probably not gonna find it here, but it was basically saying that these chips will basically help with biometrics, enhance biology, all right, enhancing your brain, so to speak, which is what Elon Musk is doing. He's one of the angels for the beast. Okay, he's one of the left-handed angels for the beast. Semiconductor. Nah. Regardless, you can, once again, it tells you what it's all the different things that it's will be used for. And one of them was that, biometric or biological enhancement. See, these are all the different areas of life that these RFID chips can be used for now, and it ultimately will be used for in the future. Hospital, healthcare, libraries, museums, sports, schools and universities, so on and so forth. Yeah, it's yeah. I'm not gonna spend too much time trying to find it, but regardless of that, man, you see, that's what this that's where everything is moving towards, man. Everything is moving towards this transhumanism. And Esau takes pride in his technology. Okay, he takes pride in his technology to the point where he says that this microchip, if this microchip is not, integrated and it's not here, then his kingdom can be lost. So he sees this as a vital part of his kingdom. So he's going to move it, and he's going to create the society to where it's going to be needful in order to have it. But going back here, it said Revelation 20 verse 4, it says, and the word of the God, it had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. So because the elect is not going to take that mark, okay, Esau will never be able to fulfill his belly, man. He would never be able to completely have the 8 billion people that are on the planet chipped. And because of the remnant, because the Lord had, maintained and has kept a remnant, therefore Esau's kingdom is going to fall, and Esau's kingdom is going to be lost, man. So, Lord willing, all right, this was edifying unto the elect. I know it was a lot of information, so Salaki, if it was scrambled, but I just wanted to bring this out. Lord willing, it's edifying unto the elect. You know, I know brothers are posting up, scriptures to water for that. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh. Till next time, Shalom, wa abba, shalom.